Cave diving is an exhilarating yet dangerous pursuit, as history has shown through tragic incidents. This video explores some of the most chilling cave disasters, including the Mossdale Cavern flood in England, where rising waters trapped and claimed 10 lives, and the Shaft Sinkhole tragedy in Australia, where divers lost their way in the depths. We also dive into the haunting tale of Jacob's Well in Texas and the infamous Gollum's cave disaster in New Zealand. These stories serve as a stark reminder of the risks lurking beneath the surface. Watch now for these harrowing real-life accounts. Sometimes the depths of the earth hold more than just rocks and minerals. They hold stories of tragedy, danger, and courage. Today, we're diving into some of the most haunting cave diving and caving incidents that ended in disaster. Let's explore these chilling stories together. It was June 24, 1967, when a group of 10 cavers descended into Mossdale Cavern in England. Their mission? To map out the deeper, more treacherous parts of the cave system. Now, this wasn't their first time here. 2 of the leaders had explored Mossdale before, so they felt confident about the journey ahead. Known for its narrow passageways and low ceilings, this cave offered few areas where you could even stand fully upright. After a few hours inside, 4 cavers decided to turn back, realizing just how physically demanding the cave was. As they exited, they noticed the sky had grown cloudy and rain began to fall. But there was nothing to raise alarms just yet. The remaining cavers continued deeper into the cave, reaching a narrow passage known as the Far Marathon, just 18 inches by 12 inches in width. There, they found a small stream running along the bottom. Everything seemed fine, but then they started noticing something disturbing. The water levels were rising quickly. The group knew it was time to head back to the surface, but there was a problem. They were still 3 hours from the exit. Above ground, the situation was getting worse. A lake had formed around the cave entrance, trapping the cavers inside. With the water rising fast, they tried to find higher ground, but the flood was relentless. Rescuers and volunteers rushed to pump water out of the cave, pumping in oxygen, praying the cavers had found a safe chamber. But tragically, all 10 cavers perished. The Mossdale Cave incident remains one of the deadliest cave disasters in history. Next, let's dive into the Shaft Sinkhole tragedy, which occurred on May 28, 1973. A group of 9 experienced divers planned an exciting exploration in Mount Gambier's Shaft Sinkhole in Australia. This sinkhole was known for a beam of light that shone down into the cave, guiding divers to a lake 20 feet below. The plan was simple: stay within a 200-foot depth to avoid getting lost. But when 4 of the divers decided to push the limits and go deeper, things began to take a dangerous turn. Despite warnings, they pushed past their agreed-upon depth limit, attempting a new depth record of 250 feet. But they were using regular air tanks, not mixed gas, making the risk of nitrogen narcosis a real danger. It's a condition where increased pressure alters your state of mind, almost like being drunk. One diver started feeling the effects of narcosis and turned back, but the others pressed on, unaware of how close they were to disaster. Soon, the water stirred up silt, clouding visibility and making navigation near impossible. With their air supplies running low and the silt turning the cave into a murky maze, the divers were lost. Unfortunately, they never resurfaced. Now, let's head to Texas, where Jacob's Well, an underwater cave, claimed 2 lives in 1983. This seemingly innocent hole, just 25 feet deep, hides a deadly secret beneath the surface. Richie and Clark, 2 students, decided to explore the well in hopes of gaining their diving certification. The first 2 chambers were simple, but it was the 3rd chamber that was deadly, a narrow squeeze that led to a tiny, impassable hole. 2 years before, 2 divers had died in the exact same spot, trapped by a rock slide. But Richie and Clark, inexperienced in cave diving, decided to push on. Richie attempted to squeeze through the hole, but as he did, disaster struck. Richie became trapped, and Clark, desperate to help, passed him the regulator to breathe. Together, they made their way back through the tight squeeze, but their tank ran low and a horrible sound echoed in the darkness. They had reached a dead-end tunnel. Clark made it to the surface, gasping for air. But Richie didn't make it out. Tragically, he drowned before help could arrive. Our last story takes us to Gollum's Cave, also known as the Cave of Death, located in the remote mountains of New Zealand. On August 18, 2005, a group of 5 friends set out to explore this treacherous cave. Everything seemed normal at first, but as they progressed deeper into the cave, they encountered a submerged tunnel. It was small, only 3 to 4 feet in diameter, and once inside, they realized they had to swim one by one through this tight passage to continue. After reaching the next chamber, the group began to feel the effects of bad air, a mixture of carbon dioxide and depleted oxygen. Panic set in as they tried to swim back out, one at a time. But with the increasing CO2 levels, they couldn't think clearly. One by one, they became trapped in the narrow tunnel. The police arrived too late, and all 4 divers perished in what has since been known as the Gollum's Cave disaster. Cave diving and exploration can be an incredible adventure, but as these stories show, it's a dangerous pursuit that demands respect for nature's power. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment below with your thoughts. Have a story to share or want to suggest a topic for our next video? Let me know. Until next time, stay safe and remember, sometimes it's best to leave the unknown unexplored.